Hello guys, welcome back to a brand new episode of Logan Fish, and tonight, or whatever day you're watching, I'll be discussing about, cold water bass, or cold water fish, depending on, where you're fishing. One of the things I realized was on my cold weather fishing fail, I'll leave a link to that, I'll leave a card to that, up here around the video, somewhere around, you know, here area. Yep, somewhere around here. Anyways, but we'll be talking about, cold, weather, you know, fishing, what to do, and, and really what is in there. So what's happening with most fish, especially like, let's say bass, or let's say trout or bluegill. Those are the fish you normally be going after. Trout are going to be starting to get used to this temperature, so you always want to go start with that. What you want to do is you want to start with, try some salmon eggs. You also want to try some power bait, and you might want to also try some worms. You can try mealworms, but I suggest power bait, salmon eggs, and worms, and see what can happen. You can try bobber, split shot, and hook technique, or you could do a technique of using if you need to get down lower, use a egg sinker. Have a little bit of line. I'd say roughly 5 to 10 inches, and yeah, and it depends what kind of fishing you want to do. That's for trout. It depends what weather it gets. When it gets like really cold, like I'm talking about, the water temperature hits roughly, because trout temperature, rainbow trout, and I believe brown trout, they're comfortable around between 50 to 60. That's when they're comfortable, they're active around that point. So that's kind of the temperature you want to be fishing. Pike like that weather too. I did a different video about pike. Muskie same way. Walleye kind of like it cold too. Not that cold though. But yeah, you definitely want to be fishing for some trout and try those, kind of lures. Try those kind of baits. You can try inline spinners if you want to. If you want to also, instead of step out away from regular spinning or bait casting, you can try some fly fishing. So that could be cool too. That's for trout, but if you want to go for bluegill, I do suggest a bobber split shot hook technique. Just a bobber split shot hook, just easy as it sounds. Put a little worm or mealworm on it, and that's how you'll catch your fish. But what kind of temperatures do you want to be looking for? And I'll talk about bass too right now. Bass, there are so many ones you want to go with. I suggest using a crankbait that's got some orange or red in it. It's got the that resembles kind of a crawdad to some what's it called? To some that resembles crawdad, and I suggest using lipless. So that's what I suggest. You always want to fish, for stuff like that. And then what else? So yeah, and then what temperatures? Well, bass like warmer temperatures than 50 to 60 degree temperatures, or colder than that. It's pretty hard to ice fish for bass, but yeah, you can pretty much fish for bass at really cold temperatures. How can you do that? Well, one technique is using a jig. You jig it right in front of them. They're going to be inactive, but you can get them active by showing them a jig. And that's really going to want to get them moving a little bit, and then they'll just snatch out and get it real quick. So you always want to jig it right in front of their face or very close to them where they'll see it. Rarely will they be moving around a lot in winter because they're very cold, they're very inactive, they just want to stay still. That's how they compile up heat. And don't confuse it with spring fishing, because yeah, sure, it's cold, but it's not as cold as they're in a different mindset at that point. So yeah, that's what I suggest. You always want to do it around the hottest part of the day, for when it reaches the winter months. For example, from 12 to 6, I suggest 12 12 to 6, 12 to 5-ish, because it's going to be the warmest. The sun's going to be hitting the water, and they're going to be up at the surface, so you can always try that. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe. Leave a comment below. And as I always say, keep on fishing.